So, welcome everyone. If you are with me live or if you're watching the recording, I am so thankful you're here and excited to give you this material tonight and for you to be on the call with me. So, I am first want to check in with you as you watch this, whether it's live or a recording. I want you to type in the chat or maybe on Facebook in the comments what you would like to create over 2024 in your professional life that would make you happy. And thank you. And not only happy, but also profitable because we're gathering together to learn about how you can feel refreshed in your career. So, I'm going to be talking about the 3 things you need to create happiness and greater profit in 2024. And I'll share a little bit about my story too. So, during the presentation today, the main topics I'm going to be covering are how you can go from stressed and overwhelmed, maybe lost, to completely free, to feeling confident, using some simple and joyful business strategies that I teach. So there's 3 parts to my presentation tonight. Part 1 is getting clear on what you desire more of and what you desire less of, so that you can improve your focus. You don't have to be distracted. You can use your time wisely and you can feel energized about the progress that you're seeing. The second thing I'm going to be covering is helping you identify stumbling blocks. And this is probably the most powerful and important point of tonight's class. When you uncover the obstacles that are in your way to creating greater fulfillment in your professional life and internally, personally, then you access the ability to have more fun, to feel more energized, more healthy. You access more money. You develop deeper relationships. So that's going to be an important point, number 2, identifying the stumbling blocks in your way. Number 3, how to use my 3-step strategy to take meaningful risks that move you closer to generating the income that you want in a way that leaves you with ample energy so that you can play, so that you can have space and time for deeper quality relationships. So I'm really excited to teach you these strategies. Using my mindset shifts and the systems that I've created and the habits, my work has brought me all over the world, and these are some of my favorite places: Thailand and Hawaii. There with my family, there, my husband. They're a bit fuzzy, but there's our oldest, Gavin and Simon. And this is the trip I went on with my mom to Thailand, and a place I've been to several times. I just love creating a work life that affords me flexibility, that's profitable, and I can have time for my family, my health, and creative activity like writing books. These are some of the clients that I've worked with. It's very varied, from PR companies to doctors and midwives to financial institutions to investing companies to lawyers and other coaches and consultants and creatives. So it's really broad, the type of clientele that I work with. I wanted to cover that this presentation is not going to be a good fit for you if you think you already have all the answers, or if you feel like you're unwilling to learn or invest in yourself, or unwilling to try new things or have an open mind. This likely won't be a good use of your time. But if you're open and you're trusting and you're willing to learn and try new things, then you're totally in the right spot. If you want to learn a new way to make money, a new way to run your work life or your business that brings you more calmness, more joy, more time, freedom, and flexibility, that is what tonight is all about. And I'm so excited to be able to get into this with you and help. So, as I did some research over the past, well, I've been in business for 12 years, but over the past couple of years, these are some of the words that kept coming up from potential clients and clients. They told me that this is how they felt, or this is what they experienced that held them back. So things like fear of success and even fear of failure, decision fatigue, not trusting yourself, overworking, pushing yourself too hard, feeling overwhelmed. These are some of the challenges that held clients back from being able to create a work life that was exciting, energizing, stable, secure, abundant, fun. So let's look at some of the research that I've found in regards to what people desire more of. So they want my help to create greater perspective. They want to scale their business, or they want to create growth in their professional lives in a way that still honors their personal values of health and happiness. They want more time for family. They want to laugh more. They want to um, be doing work that sparks joy in them. They want accountability from me. They want help becoming more courageous and confident. These are some of the things that they've told me they want and what I help clients with. So, what I've found in my work is that these are some of the awesome people that I've worked with, and I've captured screenshots, and there's some video testimonials scattered in there. What I've found for myself and what I've noticed in clients' lives is we fast forward our progress when we have support and when we execute on what we learn. I know that when I am working with coaches and mentors, I'm working with my coach Richie right now, and I'm given instruction or strategy or a new perspective, and then I go and I execute on that. I'm so much more, I'm so much farther ahead than I would be by myself. So, this is the power of coaching and consulting. It's really powerful. And I have so much feedback to demonstrate that power. A little bit about me before I get into some deeper parts of the training. Um, these are my family. My son there on the right is Simon, and he's now 16. Gavin's 18. This is us a long time ago in Mexico, having fun on a vacation. And then recently, during a speaking engagement for Canadian Women in Medicine, um, the basis of my work is helping people with business strategy, mindset reprogramming, and development of healthy lifestyles. So, creating greater balance and value aligned work lives. I'm the author of Burnout to Bliss, and I'm also the author of an upcoming book that should be launched early this spring, hopefully next month. I'm an international speaker, business development consultant, and entrepreneur. You can see there's some more about me down here. So let's dig into the juicy bits tonight and let me help you. So, first and foremost, this is where you want to get your pen out and start to take notes. You want to get clear on your desire. If you're not clear on your desire, then you're going to be foggy in your thinking. You'll be distracted and you won't have made a decision and a commitment to focus on something moving forward. But something that can be hard about getting clear about what we want is it does mean that we need to harness in our focus and cut off our attention from other things. But it doesn't have to mean that we have to sacrifice one good thing in our lives for another. That's different. So I'd like you to write in the chat if you're here with me live or you're watching this on social media or YouTube afterwards. Maybe email me back if you're watching this and you are in touch with me over email and tell me what you want more of. So when I hear from clients on a weekly basis what they want more of, just like you saw from that research that I've done recently, Common things that I hear people want more of are more family time. They want more flexibility and more freedom time wise. They want better health. They want to be consistently exercising and out in nature. They want deeper relationships, deeper connection with their family, more deeper friendships. They want to scale their business. Some people who are business owners, or if they are physicians or community leaders, sometimes they want to expand their impact and they want to increase their income at the same time as they improve their health. So, what do you want? Recently, I was coaching someone and she was telling me what she wanted. She wanted to create a work life that was portable so she could travel more. So, that was number one. It had to be portable. She wanted to expand her income, and she wanted to do work that would honor her health because she had an issue in her body that she'd had surgery for. And it meant that she couldn't do specific work unless she was going to be harming herself over time. So it had to be portable, profitable, and good for her health. It would support her health and make her feel energized and good in her body. So I want you to write what you want more of. Let's get clear on your desire. And let me see here. Okay. Susan says she has the time but would like more financial abundance. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, we don't have to sacrifice one for the other. Right now, I just want you, like I said before, remember who this presentation is for people who have an open mind. So don't let the editor in your mind tell you you can't have it. Just keep an open mind right now and think of the ideal life and work life that you want to create. It might help you to think about your desires from a positive place and a new perspective. So entertain this thought. I once thought that it wasn't okay for me to have time to write books and create material for clients who I may never meet, right? So cool. Um, or like readers of my book. I didn't think it was okay to have that level of balance and still have time for my family, my health, and my current clients and make the money that I wanted to make. Like all of that just sounded like an Easter egg basket that was full and overflowing, right? You mean I can have it all? Like before I created a little bit about my background story, before I at the beginning of my coaching and consulting and writing and speaking work, I was creating business. And after I hired my first coach, it really started taking off. But for 3 years, I tried to do it all by myself. And that wasn't a good use of time or money trying to do it by myself. Anyways, I found that I was able to create a great amount of success financially, but I didn't have enough time. And I was telling myself that I couldn't be available for my family and for making the house the way I wanted it to look. I wasn't able to be available for my extended family, my parents, and my friends as much as I wanted to have that flexibility. I was telling myself I couldn't have it all. So it might be helpful to learn that you can, and wanting more isn't a bad thing. It doesn't make you greedy. You can be very thankful and happy with what you've created so far and still want more. And that doesn't take away from what anyone else can enjoy. They can also create a life of more abundance. So, Susan, take that into consideration. It's okay to want more, and you can have it. And we'll get into strategy in a little while. So, since I've changed my mindsets and applied my own mindset transformation to my own life and hired coaches and walked my talk, right? I've been able to develop a more joyful wealth creation strategy and self-care practices that, when applied, have incredibly drastically transformed and up-leveled my life to the point that I feel so valued for my work, and I'm able to travel and have abundance financially for saving and fun and giving and investing, blah, 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 hiring people to help me. And just consider the fact that it's possible. Let's move forward. Denying yourself of your desires prolongs unhappiness. So sometimes when I'm working with clients, denial is the it's like it robs you of joy. So in order to feel on top of the world, you need to get honest with yourself about what you really want and what's no longer okay with you. Don't lie to yourself and tell yourself you're okay with something, like you're okay with a relationship that's okay, or you're okay with a business that makes a pretty good amount of money, but you still feel unstable about the future, or you're okay about not spending quality time with your family because you're so busy. You're okay with it. Well, I think I'm going to call you on that. Let's get honest. When you're honest, then you can do something about it and you access power again, right? So, one of the things I help clients with is practicing, allowing themselves to have more and flexing their receiving muscles instead of being such great givers, always serving others and thinking about others' needs above their own. Hey, I'm cheering you on for that. But if you go into left field doing that too much, it becomes unhealthy because you stop regarding yourself and your own needs and desires. You can take care of other people and still treat yourself as an equal. Your happiness is just as important as anyone else's. So let's look at this 5-step strategy that I have for you. If you're not taking notes, you got to get this down. The first step is to identify the skills that energize you and bring value to others. So you are going to love your work life when you are prioritizing spending your time invested in growing and using the skills that feel like pinch me, right? So for me, some of those skills are speaking. Like tonight, I absolutely love teaching. I love sharing wisdom, experience, and strategy. I love using my coaching skills to help people understand where they're being held back, and I challenge them to get uncomfortable and support them in that. So, what skills are calling you to use them so that you can help other people? Sometimes it's going to be a new skill that brings you new money. Or, for example, for a physician client that I coach, it might mean that they take on a new leadership role and they say no to an old role. They stop pursuing that old role and getting paid for it, even though it brings them money, but it's become mundane and lifeless and boring or tedious. If you're someone who has your own business already, maybe you identify the skills that come so naturally to you. You think, you mean somebody would pay for me to advise them in that area? I could charge for that? Wow, yes, you can. You can charge for that. It's valuable. Maybe you are just starting a business and you're thinking, what? People want to be held accountable and they would pay me for that? People want to hear my story about how I overcame this big challenge in my life and that I could break down that skill set for them and I could mentor them in that area. They would pay me for that. Do you know how cool that would be? So identify the skills that you want to use more, that when you're using them, you just feel so lit up. The second step in the strategy circle here is to decide what income you want to be making. This is really important. You don't want money to drive your behavior and be the ultimate end goal. I got in trouble with that a couple of years ago, and I made money my goal. And money was the definition of my identity and defined my success. And that pretty much made me feel pressured, stressed, insecure whenever it fluctuated, because I was looking to money, pretty much like money as my God or money as the source of my importance. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's not a good place to be. It's really made me feel insecure. And so I had to go deeper. And I want you to do this right now. And I asked myself, yes, I do want that income. It's still the same. That desire hasn't changed. That's the income that would afford me flexibility, fun, freedom, and stability. Okay. But what's deeper than that? What's deeper than that is my desire to have more playtime in my life, or my desire to help others have more financial security and abundance. And I got deeper and deeper to the true desire of what I wanted for myself and others. And then money started flowing into my life as I got clear on my offers, and I made them. I made the connections and I made the offers. And you can too. It's important to decide how much money you want, but what do you really want that's underneath that money goal? Because if you're running after money, you can start feeling fearful or needy. But if your aim is more playtime and a deeper opportunity for relationships, then you're really going to be fueled to move forward when you aren't feeling super motivated some days, because you've got a deeper, meaningful why. So, step three in the strategy is to define your desired lifestyle. Well, I want to have 2 days off every week, or I don't want to work the typical 9 to 5. I want to be able to take long chunks of time off for holidays or to work overseas. Those are some things that I love to do. So define what lifestyle you want. Do you want to be able to drop your kids off and pick them up from school? What do you want? Put that in the chat. I would love to hear. Is there a specific income that you desire on a monthly basis, or income for this year if it's a lump sum over and above what you're currently making? And what kind of lifestyle improvements would you tell me at the end of this year that you've made because of the new business strategy that you've applied? Put that in the chat. Tell me a little bit more about what's going on in your brain as you listen to me teach. The fourth step is to meet more people. So no matter if you're a business owner or a healthcare leader or a community leader, a professional in any field, relationships are the basis of all growth. You're not meant to do life alone. And in order for you to be paid, you need to solve other people's problems. You need to use your skills to solve their problem. And in order to know what they would pay you for, you need to get out there and meet more people. You need to have more conversations with current colleagues if you're a healthcare leader, or you need to have more conversations with people who are like you and maybe are experiencing the same challenge that you experienced in the past. And you know that you could probably break down some steps that would really help them save a lot of time, stress, money, and heartache. And they would pay you for that. So do some research, get out there. And then the last step is to make offers. So yes, if you're a healthcare leader, you're a physician or a midwife, and you're watching this still applies to you. Because if you want to change up your workflow and make money with less responsibility, you still need to get out there, talk to people, bust your assumptions in half instead of assuming, get out there, get curious, have conversations about what's available, who's in need, and how you could fill those shoes to help more patients and colleagues, and then make offers. Do a trial, you guys. Get curious, and maybe over the next 3 months, 6, 8, or 12 weeks, you do a little test. It's an experiment. You don't have to commit to something for the next 6 months or a year, a big change in your professional life. All I want you to do is I want you to get out there and I want you to see what's possible in a really small way with a really small change. And I'd really love you to let me know, whether it's during this call or afterwards, what offer would you like to be able to make and get paid for? Or what role would you like to step into that feels like, oh, that would be less stress, ah, like a sigh of relief. Or I would love to be able to be there and available for my kids and make homemade meals more often. Or I'd love to make deeper quality friendships. Right now, I don't feel like I have the time, but if I upped my rate or I did this type of work, then I think I'd have the time. I would love to get to know you and hear about your dreams and desires. So, a reminder, you got to have the right mindset, the right strategy, and support to scale business or to make necessary changes in your work that decrease stress and increase the fulfillment that you're experiencing right now. So, you need three things: you need the right mindset, you need the right strategy, and then you need support if you really want to make changes and you're tired of waiting for things to change and trying to figure it out all on your own. So Dave says he'd like to make similar income, but transition to something that has less of a staffing component and gives me more purpose while helping others. That sounds super exciting, Dave. Dave's told me a little bit about this idea, and it's like powerful and meaningful. And I know that good things are on the horizon for you. So, what scares you about your desire? This is the second topic tonight, and really important because if you don't nail or unearth what is holding you back, then those fears will keep holding you back, or those assumptions will stop you from taking action. So, we want to get aware of them right now, and we want to remove them so that you can access that power again. You can get into aligned action and you can then receive the fruit of your labor. So this picture here is a gardener pulling up a weed. If you let the weeds grow in your garden, they take over and they choke out the vegetables, they choke out the fruit, they choke out the flowers and the beauty. So you want to make sure that just like a weed, you're pulling out the lies that are in your mind that are not aligned with the outcome and the results you want to create, that income, that meaningful work, that calm mind, and that ability to be present with the people that you love. So I want you to write down this framework to help you identify what beliefs are in my way, might be causing me problems, and stopping me from receiving what it is that I desire. So if blank, then blank. So if I, let me come up with an example for you. If I move forward and open up my own office, I'm not going to be well supported. So if I believed that, but I really wanted to open up my own office for some sort of work, brick and mortar, or I really wanted to get an office manager, but I felt like this is another assumption or belief. It's really hard to find people right now, especially skilled managers. Then I likely would busy myself with other tasks that were equally important in my mind And I wouldn't be actively seeking that person to fill the shoes so that I could have more flexibility in my work life. So that if then statement reveals more about what you might be believing that might be getting in your way. If I make more money, or even if I allow myself to dream of making more money in a way that would be easier on my body, that means I'm greedy, or that means I'm unthankful. That means I'm selfish. Who am I to think that it's okay to have that good of a life? Other people are allowed it, but I feel uncomfortable having it. So, those if then statements will be very helpful for identifying the unhelpful belief and then helping you uproot it. So, there's that framework I gave you, if then statement. It's like the worst case scenario, right? Or something that makes you uncomfortable or brings up a fear. You want to, I've shared this with some of you. It's a framework I use with my clients. You can notice the old thought. So wherever you're hesitating, you're not taking action, or you feel stuck, you can you can notice, "Oh, what would I be thinking that would make me not take action and procrastinate?" Second, you can, once you understand what it is that you are just thinking, you can choose a new thought. So what I like to do is I put my hand on my head, my hand on my heart, this is separately, and then my hand on my stomach. And I get in touch with my body, or I go for a walk in nature where I'm not distracted. And I ask, what's the truth to replace that lie with? What's the truth that I'm meant to be believing? And that's your replacement thought that I want you to put on your phone as a reminder, that I want you to write on a piece of paper and stick it on your wall. Maybe you put it on a sticky note in your wallet, you put it in your car on a sticky note, you get it in your face. This is homework. You want to be reprogramming your subconscious mind so that the old thought dies off and you're training your brain to believe something new. And it will feel awkward, but as you take step number 3, you'll be providing evidence for your brain that that new truth is actually the new truth to stand on. And the old thing you were believing actually was never the truth. It's just something that you heard somewhere else or that seemed to be true. But there are so many perspectives in the world that people have about different situations. You can choose a new belief, just like picking up a glass of water. This isn't attached to my body. I can consume it. I can hold it so long that I think it is attached and part of me, my belief, but it's not. I can put it down. Separate. Me and my beliefs, you and your beliefs are separate. You can choose a new belief anytime you want to, but it does take practice to ingrain it and make it a dominant thought. So stop letting fear or small thinking hold you back from everything that would bring you joy. The third step in that process. You thought I was going to rip you off? I'm going to tell you the third step and I won't leave you hanging. The third step is to act out a new action from the foundation of that new belief. We'll get into that in a minute. So take action based on your new beliefs. This is the foundation for a new building. Much like a new thought is the foundation and springboard for new habits and new actions. And those new actions, my friend, will feel risky and will feel like they'll feel risky in a really good way because you're finally prioritizing what's important to you. So remember that you're not responsible for everything, and there's only so much that's in your control. So focus on what you can start acting on. Don't tell yourself, I can't take action because I don't know how it's going to turn out, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. Just practice trusting. Practice trusting that if you start, the way will be made clear. And as you start taking little risks, you're going to build up evidence for your brain that, holy crap, I can get paid for this. Or, oh my goodness, I can enjoy a life with better boundaries where I am paid for the hours that I put into this role because I feel more confident talking with people about what I deserve because I now believe that I'm worthy of it. That's a big area that I help clients with. Starting to identify that, hey, I'm worthy, I'm important. And then the conversations about money can flow and happen more easily. You can raise your rates with more ease, etc. So let's talk about what the inspired action might look like. What inspired action comes to your mind that would be linked to the outcome that you want to create? I go in depth in this in my new book. There's a framework that you'll have access to as soon as it comes out. So, a little bit more about my story. I did not think this way. I did not think that um, I wasn't responsible for everything. I thought I was. I thought my success was all up to me. I thought that I needed to have all the answers. And so I never looked for outside support. Even just a couple years ago, I went through this cycle again and it was horrible. I was relying on myself to provide everything, the answers, the ideas, the strategy. And thankfully, my coach that I was working with at the time caught me in believing a lie. And she said, I don't think so. That's not the truth, Amy. That's just what you're believing. Why don't you try this belief on for size? And I was able to see that I was really holding myself back from hopefulness and optimism and power and confidence and money because I was telling myself it was all up to me. And one of my biggest values is my spiritual connection with God. And so I was totally out of alignment. And if you have a spiritual connection, whatever your spiritual connection is, remember that you're not responsible for everything. And that will take a huge weight off your shoulders and help you focus your business activities on income producing activity, not all the activities. You'll be able to trust more and you'll feel much more at peace. So, as I round up today, I wanted to remind you that you have a choice. And I know that you'll get results when you take action. We need, like I was showing you that feedback from my clients, we need outside help and we need strategy that's new because what worked for us in the past, and I have experienced this, will not necessarily work to create new breakthrough. Old mindsets won't create new breakthrough. We need new perspective and new strategy. So I want to thank you so much for staying on the call and in the class and attentive and taking part in the chats. It makes me feel really special that you're here with me. So for those of you who are interested in getting more support, I want to show you what I'm offering. So here is what you get in my powerful mastermind. Now I'm doing like a sneak peek, um, initial intimate cohort next month in February, where it's going to be a 4-week program. And in that 4-week program, you get two 90-minute calls in February. So that's worth 3,000 just by itself. There's going to be weekly challenges and support to implement what you learn in between the calls. There's another $500 in value. And then you'll get inspiration and support in the community from the other leaders that are in the group. You'll get access to skills and strategy that I teach and mindset transformation techniques. So that'll help you overcome fears and insecurity and help you feel confident. Then there's a bonus. I've created a program called Passion to Profit. And for anyone who wants to use their speaking skills, consulting skills, mentoring skills to increase income and free time, that will be a very helpful course. So my clients pay anywhere between $2,000 and $30,000 for private coaching with me. And this powerful mastermind that is 4 weeks long is going to be $1,000. So instead of $5,500, I'm giving it to 10 people for $1,000 over the month of February. Now, I am thrilled and excited to be able to offer this because usually I don't run a short program like this, but I wanted to be able to meet with a small group of people and be able to take a deep dive into the strategy and framework in my second book coming out to help you become a master of your emotions, a master of your mind, so that you're the one in control and you can feel vibrant and energized and happy the way you want to, calm, balanced, at peace the way you want to. And you can also at the same time access me for support and strategy when it comes to your work life and your dreams and actualizing what you want, actualizing the dream. So it's going to be tailored to the first cohort. And when people sign up, I'm going to be starting to collect data that will inform what I focus on and teach you over that 4 week period. So, next steps. If you want to learn more, because sometimes our nervous system is like, when we're making decisions, I invite you to schedule a 20-minute strategy call and I'm just available to answer any of your questions and help you feel good about your decision. So if you have any questions and you think you might want to be one of these 10 people to get my support and get first access to my book and the strategies in there, schedule a call with me and I will try and meet with you as soon as possible this week or next. So if you have questions, now is the time to ask. You can pop it in the chat and I'd be happy to answer. I want to thank you so much for attending and taking the time for yourself. I know that as you apply what I was teaching tonight, you're going to see big changes. Even from one call and something new, one thing new that you learned, you can go and apply that and see big changes as soon as tomorrow, even tonight. So connect with me, reach out if you want one of those spots. If you want one to meet me for a strategy session, also let me know. I know that you are capable, that the world is your oyster, and the change that you've been desiring is totally possible. So thanks for joining. Share this training with someone who you love, or share it if you're watching it online on social media. It would mean a lot to me. Okay, we'll talk to you soon.